Oh, there we go.
Hello.
Hello. What's going on?
Nothing much.
Amazing. Well, welcome everyone to the show.
They are so welcome to be here today.
I love Melanie. You just go with it. Like as if I'm coming in, you're coming in hotter. Like you're ready, and I'm here for it. I'm loving the hair color, by the way.
Oh, thank you. I just when I'm in the shower sometimes I just put the color back in between shampooing and conditioning, and that's when it's like vivid.
Ah, look at her. She is just out here giving beauty queen realness today.
It needs a bit of a trim. She's giving I'm giving kind of like, oh, if I start singing smooth like butter.
I knew you were gonna say it because I saw it. I saw the vision.
I shouldn't even dare compare myself. I just know the specific roundness, and I didn't put gel in today. The roundness is giving K-pop boy, but I'm not
It
mad.
is not mad at all. Not mad at all,
Especially
baby.
I was just I was because I do my midday dances with Goose, and I always go back to BTS. And Aeroplane Part 2, that song?
Can't say that I do. I mean, maybe I do.
Go listen to it
Okay.
now. I mean, after.
Right now.
And one of them has pink hair, peach hair, exactly this color. And I was like, okay, okay.
He
People are
was
gonna come
copying
for me.
you.
I'm gonna get trolled for saying this.
Not at all.
Ooh,
Not at all. You
I
know, you
just
were feeling the vibes.
I just pressed the thing on my chair and I just sunk. Okay, I promise I'm here. I've got my period, so I'm extra scatterbrained.
All right, I am ready to go. I'm excited for this. Whenever Melanie's on her period, she is on fire. She is
Chaos.
going in. Chaos queen. Yes.
Seriously. I was like,
I
an hour's plenty of time. And then I was like, I'm meant to be on in 15 minutes. I'd only showered. And I was like, where did the time go?
It
Anyway,
goes fast when you're
I
zhuzhing and getting
know
ready
it
to look
does.
good.
It does.
Yes. Do you always paint your nails, by the way?
Oh my God. How could you? You got hawk eyes. I hate this fucking color so much. I've only got it on one hand. How did you spot that? Because
I
I
don't
guess
know.
it's
It just,
bright.
I feel like it, yeah, it's bright, and I don't usually see you with that.
I
I don't
usually
know. It
have
doesn't,
like dark, very dark,
yeah.
like black, or I've got a dark purple I love. That's my favorite smoky purple. At night it looks black, by day it's like really dusty purple. And I've got this
Oh.
like dark forest green. Those two are my favorite lately, aside from black. But every now and then I like to paint my toenails like bright, like I'm on an island holiday bright. So every now and then I'm like, shall I do my toenail brightness on my hands? Because that'd be fun. And then I wind up with this shit, which maybe some people
I like it.
like. Even when my husband came home, he was like, the fuck is that?
I like it. I like the color, but it's not you. It's not for
It's
you.
not, it's not for me. I love that everyone close to me is just like, bitch, what are you doing? That's not your colors. Save it for your toes, mate.
Well,
Anyway,
well, welcome everyone to the show. It's been a little bit of time since like we've actually recorded. We recorded, but then we canceled, and then now we're here recording. So,
mhm.
yeah, welcome to the show, everyone. It feels like it's been a few weeks since like
Yeah,
we've done like an episode. So
yes,
that's yeah, we were resting
we were resting.
after plenty of things happening. So, Melanie, how are you? What have you been up to? Oh, you recently did a cover reveal for your
I
next anthology. The cover was fabulous. Congratulations.
Thank you. I was trying to work out a way to share it, but I can't work it out. So we'll have to wait till I have a physical copy. But yes, Castle of Horror, volume 12, I want to say. Um, Ripped from the headlines. Yes, she is revealed in her cover glory. It's actually my favorite cover of theirs, no lie. And when I saw it, I gasped in all the right ways. It feels very like elder goosebumps or something, you know?
Yeah. Yes. Maybe that's what it is. Like there's something very nostalgic about it, and you're just
Yeah.
like it like hits some nerve in your brain where you're like, oh, that's it. That's the
Mm.
spot. It tickles something.
Yes, she's in her horror era.
Yes.
I'm working back on my middle grade horror with like a fire up my ass to get it revised and back to Sandra by April. So I've been watching Creeped Out on Netflix. It's like a tween horror goosebumps adjacent thing because yeah, I'm really like even though I write horror, my background education in horror is not much. Like I didn't watch that kind of stuff growing up. So I am educating myself with the things that feel, and it's manageable for me. I'm so proud. Like I'm watching it and I'm hungry. I'm gobbling up this like middle grade horror. Like
I love
it's
that.
so fascinating. Whereas historically, I was a real scaredy cat and I could have only like a small dose of horror. So I'm like, maybe this will be the gateway into like able to handle a little bit more. Um, I
Yeah.
don't know.
What's it
So
called again?
creeped out.
Creeped Out. Okay.
Yeah, there's two seasons. It's really fun. And so like I'm not watching it in order. I'm using it like a library. So I'll like look through the catalog of episodes because they're all so different. And there was like immediately, and I want to write one like this so bad. The first one I watched, they were like lost in a hotel and it was like all this like parallel maze of world type situation. It was so like om nom 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 nom. Like you're just hooked into like what's gonna happen next. Simple story, like not simple but not. You know what I mean? You know that just
Yeah.
that good old storytelling that's like by the campfire. And it's like, and then, you know,
Yes.
I just find it so yeah, maybe because I haven't read and watched a lot of horror, I'm just gobbling it up.
Gobble gobble. Yes. That's gobble gobble.
Gobble
Smokey's over there
gobble.
working. You see
Work.
him working?
Work my king. Working his den for anyone who can't see
God.
him.
Yeah. He goes so hard. Like he has to find, there he goes. Okay, he's
Did
comfortable
you
now.
shave him again?
Yes.
He
Yes.
looks like a little Christmas gremlin. He's gonna stab us in our sleep.
I know he's so ugly. It's so sad. He's
He
really
does.
ugly.
Did the groomer do that? Or is that a home job?
No, the groomer did that. And here's why, because he's like, we have to shave him down because he's like so gross and
From
he's
the
old
farm.
now. And so now he has like bad breath. And
Mm,
so like when he like licks, it gets in his beard if it's not like cut down. And so I asked the groomer, I was like, what can I do about this guy's bad teeth? And she was like, you gotta either take him in to the the vet and have him like get it all placked out, or you gotta brush it. You gotta anyway, no one wants to
mm.
hear this, but the damn dog's ugly.
No,
I know. I know he's ugly. What can
I
I do?
know. And at that age, it's so hard to teach. Do you have greenies over there? Because
Yes.
yeah, we give Goose greenies because she will not abide having her teeth brushed. I think it's working, except I feel like she eats it on one side. So it's like a dog toothbrush for those who don't you eat it. It's a little delicious gummy that cleans their teeth. So we give her that because I also didn't want to have to pay for doggy dental. Like,
Yeah.
I can't even
Yes.
fix my own fucking teeth. The dog's not getting dental. Like, she eats
Exactly.
these greenies. But I think
Yeah,
she's
throw
eating
the
it on one
greenies.
side because one side her teeth are like pearly and white. I shouldn't say pearly and white. She's got the most little snaggly space. Even the other day, my husband Phil was like, has she lost a tooth? I was like, no, but she hasn't lost a tooth. I was like, she's just got these like little snaggly few men in the field teeth. It's always been like, he's like, no, no, I swear there was one there. I was like, it's moved from all her playing and pushing it. Anyway,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm sure our listeners
I know, I
are
know.
just
We
sitting there
went
with their
off.
cup of coffee going like, yeah, greenies are so great. And dog
Yeah.
dental is tough, but it is.
Yes. We're relatable queens.
Yeah.
But yeah, listeners, if you have any advice for stinky ass breath for
Yeah.
dogs, please let me know.
There's
Because
I have advice. There's like drops you can put in their water. I don't know what's in it though.
I just bought some.
Oh, there you
I just
go.
bought
So
them.
you're doing all the
Yes.
things. You
Oh,
good. Good
I'm doing
job.
everything. I'm doing
Mm.
everything because I can't handle it. Um,
Mm.
at least he's really a sweetheart.
Yeah.
He's a nice
He
guy.
seems sweet, minus how he gazes over your shoulder occasionally planning your death.
I know. No, he looks really creepy, but he's actually kind of
No.
sweet. I think. I don't know what he thinks.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on in that head.
How have you been, my friend? I've been in the horror lands. What lands? You've been in the tail end of the events lands?
Yes. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Yeah, because I don't even remember I don't even remember like what we talked about the last episode we
Something about
really recorded.
tornadoes.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, so since then after that I was in Florida for a weekend, which was
Yeah.
fabulous, amazing, the coolest, awesomest event ever. It was so great. But then yeah, I came home
Yeah.
super exhausted, like
Mm.
done. Um, and it's funny because I knew like I had booked this event in the Bay Area, which is like an hour and 40 minutes away from me, San Francisco
Yeah.
area. So I had booked this event a while ago
Mm.
before, I traveled and I was like, oh yeah, I'll do it. I have all this energy. And then when I was like on that tail end of that last one, I was like, oh, I don't think I could do it. And so I emailed them and I was like, I'm sorry. And
Mm.
unfortunately I had to miss another time that we had booked.
Mm.
And so I was like, oh, I can't do it. I'm like, I'm zapped. And they were like, oh, no problem. We'll just have to tell the bookstore to probably like either like, send your books back or, because it's a bookstore and they, ordered a bunch of copies. And I was like, oh crap. Okay, never mind. I can't. I didn't want, because it's a bookstore. I love indie
That's
bookstores. I was like,
dramatic.
never mind. Yeah.
Sorry. No, like, that just feels like a dramatic response. The author can't come to the event because she's been burning a candle, so they'll send the books back. That's
Yeah.
traumatizing.
It was. And so I felt bad. And honestly, like I did really want to go, but I was
Yeah.
exhausted. But Armando and I we drove down this week to do it, and it was really great. I'm really happy I went, but I was very proud of myself for sending that email originally
Yeah.
and being like, I can't do it, even though I ended up,
I was
even though I
so
ended up doing
proud.
it.
I was so proud. You
I
know what
know.
the thing that I
It
will
was
say
stupid.
though is sometimes just knowing, I don't know about you, but sometimes just knowing I have the power and the ability, like just the agency to be able to get out of something or say no if I'm feeling burnt out, gives me this little push that I can do it sometimes. So maybe it's
Yes.
just that kind of thing.
Yeah, honestly, because it was when she, emailed back and was like, "Oh, that's totally fine. We could just return them." And I
Yeah.
thought, well, no, I'll go. But it was under my choice, and I was like, I can do it. I
Yeah.
can rally. But I was very proud of like me for trying.
I am so
But no.
proud. It's like really hard. I just have this quote saved to my phone from like yesterday morning, and it was like me in my CUNT era. And it's like, she set one boundary. It's like our brains jump to thinking we must be the biggest bitches suddenly. And all we did was say, hey, I can hardly keep my eyes open and I don't think I'm going to be able to come and host this fucking event. And
Yes.
and we're like, I'm
Yes.
such a bad bitch, but it does feel that way to people like us, I think. And
Yes. Yes.
I was glowing with pride. You couldn't see it. I mean, maybe you could. Phew.
Glowing. It's too
I
bright.
mean, I am
Yes.
glowing in this fucking bright light that's over my
Yes,
face.
you are glowing. You are glowing in all the ways.
It's those
Um,
little
yeah.
steps that give you the courage as well for like when
Yeah.
I'm sure if you were really just couldn't keep your eyes open and you wouldn't have rebooked it. You would have been like, fuck it, let the books go.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
it seems like a small step, but it's not. It's a huge step. So I'm super
Yeah.
proud.
Thank you. I honestly was like,
Yeah.
yes, yes, girl. Um, and I feel like in all sort of things, I'm just kind of growing as a person of being like, I don't care anymore. Like I can, if I want to ask, because I've been kind of thinking about like author blurbs
Oh
for my
yeah.
next book. And so, like even at the very beginning, like with Sinner's Isle, even with A Cruel Thirst, I would be like
Mhm.
so shy about asking authors.
Yeah.
And I'm at the point now where I'm like, I'll just DM them and
Yeah.
see what they think. Like it's just like at this point, okay, they could say no, or I'm too busy, or they don't even answer, and you move on and you keep going. Like
Yeah. And
no
you're
sweat
not
off the
just
back.
some random on the wind, just like pestering them. You know what I mean? Like you're a author in their field, in their like you would have picked them for a reason, like they might be honored to hear from you. But
Yeah,
yeah, there
yeah,
is that kind of like look, and I think that feeling for like self-aware people like yourself comes from a good place because there probably is another time in life where it wouldn't be the thing. Like I'm just cackling because I remember when I listen, she had a lot of misplaced audacity when she published that little indie children's book. I tried to send that book to Laini Taylor for her child, and I was just like,
I
oh,
love
such a
that.
good person. Um, you know, I'll just send her a free copy to read her daughter, which is lovely. But obviously, I was hoping she'd be like, I just got this book. It's so good. And like skyrocket me to indie. But you know what? As you get older and wiser, you realize thousands of people would try to do that. So in that case,
Yeah.
it's probably, I'm sure I told you this back before she became She Who Must Not Be Named, back when she was a goddess. I sent that book to J.K. Rowling as well.
Did you?
And I actually got a
You're like,
letter
hey, you
back.
never know. Really?
Yeah,
Really?
there was some place that received it and they sent back this beautiful letter thanking me for sending it. I was
Oh,
like,
well, that's
okay.
nice.
Yeah, but then she became, decried.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. Well,
But my point
whatever.
was, in a very roundabout way, I think that voice that stops us sometimes comes from that place. I had no business sending those books to people, they probably get 1,000. The fact that there was something in place to send me a letter tells you how much shit these people get sent to them just from people hoping to just, I don't know, just breathe in their essence and like become famous.
Yes, that no, that is very, very true. Well,
Mm,
it reminds me, I also did another book event actually right when I got home from Florida.
yeah.
I've just been everywhere,
Last
but it
night.
was no, this one was last week, I think, or the week before.
Ah,
This is like 40 minutes away. It wasn't that bad, so I drove out
yeah,
myself.
yeah.
But it was a really cool event. It was a small event at a little indie bookstore. And the host, his name's Jason Drenzel, I think. He's a
Mm.
fantasy author. I don't know if I got his name right.
You always try to remember names.
No.
Just say a really cool fantasy author guy.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. He's a really cool fantasy author guy. Really nice. And he was interviewing me about like author stuff, like writing stuff. And
Yeah.
and the like people that came were budding writers,
Mm,
authors themselves. And we're just chatting about the business.
yeah.
And somebody did ask, she's an indie author, and she asked like, how do you get blurbs?
Mm,
And we are talking about that from like a traditional publishing space. Usually you would ask your agent, or you've made these connections and you have the relationship, and so
mm,
you've been around, and so it's okay to ask. Um, and just like going back to what I was saying about like just
mm.
DMing authors, and I don't care so much. It's not just because I'm just like DMing strangers, although I'll do that as well.
Yeah, that's the thing.
So,
It's hard to when I look back, even though I use it as an example, I don't hate that girl that did that. I
yeah, yeah, yeah.
how plucky and brave. She was sweating in her boots. She had no idea how big the industry was and how big these people were. And
Yeah.
she was just like she used like and to be fair, I was like so broke. I was like using like my only like I could have taken myself out for coffee. Nah, I sent my fucking book across the
Oh,
UK and like I can't hate that girl who did that, even if like, and that's the thing, like it's all very nuanced and it's all very, and you know what?
Yeah.
Sometimes people do that and they do get someone being like, wow, this book, I'm so glad someone sent it to me. So I was like, shoot your shot. But I just
Yeah.
think that there's definitely that's maybe where our early cringe comes from, where we're like, oh, we better not ask because I don't want to be a
Yeah.
bother or whatever.
Yeah.
But at some point, um, yeah, like I think you realize that like, you know, you're in a different position now and it's like could be someone's honor to do it for you.
Yes, yes, that's where I'm coming in. Kind of, not really. I'm still I still get sweaty, but
Yeah.
I don't get like I don't it's okay if they
Yeah.
can't. You know, like it
Yeah.
doesn't hurt because I understand because I've been in the position of being asked to do a blurb and really you have so many things happening in your life where it's really, really hard to get to reading stories.
Yeah.
Um, at that book festival I went to in Florida, Debbie Maycumber was there, and she has over 200 books. Like she's been doing it
Damn.
since, yeah, she's a romance author. She's been doing it since like the 70s.
What a queen.
Yes, yeah, my grandma has like all of her books. Um,
No.
and so when I saw her, I was like, oh my gosh, like that's Debbie fucking Maycumber. And she was so awesome. Like
Mm,
we did this tour of this really beautiful Victorian home, and there was a typewriter there, and she's all, that's what I started on. You know, I was just clacking away. And but we were talking, and she was talking about how she's been in the business since the 70s. I mean, she's got
mm.
200 books, but we were kind of asking like, well, how do you keep going?
Yeah.
And for her, she said, I check my ego. Like, I do not ever want to have a big ego about who I am or what I'm doing. Like, I'm just out here trying to write. And like she was saying, yeah, the my publishers came to me and they're like, we want to change your book title.
Mm,
And I was like, but you're Debbie Maycomber. Like, you can tell them to like
mm.
fuck off at any time. And she's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I probably could, but but it's just a title. Like I have other things to do. And
Mm,
and she was like, yeah, and then they came and they wanted me to tweak this. And I said, okay, and so I was just like, dang, if this woman is still out here and she is the boss, like she is the
mm,
queen, and she is still like, no, we're checking our egos. Like we're just writers. And I was like, well, you're not. But yes, I get the point. But it's like I think that's the thing is like when you are doing this, and like I've noticed even sometimes at different events or conferences, there are certain authors that do come with like an ego, and they're
yeah.
just not really fun to be around because you're like at the end of the day like we're just all writers trying to do this thing.
That's
Like,
it. There's definitely look, I'm trying to like sometimes I'm of two minds. Sometimes I'm like maybe they're just super introverted, but it's hard to like energy doesn't lie, right? And so if you get that vibe, sometimes I'm like I think this person wanted to be like I don't know, in the music industry or something. You know, they wanted the kind
yeah,
of like, I don't know, and even I think our society as a general, like, we don't celebrate the kind of like aloof, untouchable celebrity anymore. Like that, I think that's a
yeah.
dying engine in a way.
Yes, yeah.
You know,
But
people
it's
want
true.
to
I think
see
they're
the real
really,
side.
yeah. And I think there's a big difference between being introverted and kind of just not like a great people person,
Mm,
and coming in with your head high and like that aloof sort
mm,
of vibe where you're like,
yeah.
no, like I don't know you like that. Um,
Yeah.
and like I always check myself, not that I'm like that, but I always check myself when I see people like that. Like I do not want to be that girl. And so like for Debbie Maycumber, who's again been in this bitch, like she is a like elite,
What
she
a
is the
queen.
forefront. Yeah, she came and like sat with us and just like BS. And I was like, yes, like she deserves everything good in the world because she is just that woman. And truly, she was talking about how back in the day, back in the 70s, men ruled the publishing industry. And so
Yeah.
the only way for really a woman to break out was to be in the romance genre.
Mm.
And so that's where she wrote. And she writes these great books and they have all these different themes and values, but that was the only way she could break through was to have it in romance. And she was just saying like it's just so awesome like sitting at this table with you guys like
Yeah.
because of the books that she wrote, because she got to explore. And again, we talk about romance so much
Yeah.
like on the podcast lately and like even just like smut, all of the good stuff, right?
Mm.
Like because she was out there doing the work, she's building
Mm.
these roadways for all of us to climb to drive through. And
Yeah.
now it's like, you know, we're bringing all sorts of stories. We have diverse stories, we have LGBTQ plus stories, we have all of these things because these OG romance writers did it first. And so for her to just be sitting there and just BSing and be like, no, check that ego. Like it's there's no point. I'm like, okay, the queen says it.
The Queen. What wonderful advice. If she ever wants to come on the podcast, we need her words.
Right?
Time to use that plucky I can do anything and invite Debbie
Yeah.
Takoma on the show. But it just
Yeah.
reminds me
Yeah.
of like I saw this. Do you know that guy that does the street paintings of fascinating people? Devin Rodriguez, I think.
Oh, I don't. Oh, I think so. I
I
think
fucking
so.
love his art is so beautiful and he'll stop someone on the street and like he'll be like, "Can I paint you? Can I draw you? Whatever." And he stopped this person and I saw it and he was like, "What's your like dream in life?" And they were like, "Well, I used to think it was this, this, and this." And they were like, "And, I've been so fortunate. I've done all my dream jobs. And, in the end, I realized that people only want like the status, the celebrity, the money, whatever, it all means nothing. Like at the end of the day, like the goal is to be able to just have time and to be able to travel and spend time with the people you love. That was their dream. That's like their dream is just to be able to have that time and just do more of that because every time, no matter how much of a dream job it was still work. And the ultimate like luxury and dream is that time that you get to just spend exploring the world, cooking good food, hanging out and shit spinning with your friends. And I think people like Debbie, they know that. They've already peered through the bullshit of like all of that. And like, yes, it's all good, but if you lose the point of it, like those small moments are given to all of us. You know what I mean? Like
Mm.
nobody has to be like successful or wealthy to like get those little treasure moments. But if you are, you can have more of them. I think that's what they were saying. Like that's their goal, to be able to have more of them. I thought it was such a beautiful
Yes.
way to put it. And like you said, such a constant ego check of like, in the end, don't get caught up in the machine of it. Anyway, I thought that was so beautiful. And yeah, I want Debbie on the show. If you think she'd have us, get her
Yeah,
on.
maybe.
You
Might
never
have to
know.
try. You never freaking know.
I
You
think we need her
never know.
wisdom.
Yeah, oh my gosh, she has so much. She's just an awesome
Yeah, you're like
person.
shining after talking to her.
Yeah, I did because honestly, it's funny because she reminded me so much of one of my grandmas.
Oh,
And I know my grandma loves her. And so I was just like having this moment of like,
oh,
yes, I love you. Thank you. But yeah, it's just cool to be around other authors. And I think that's kind of been like my favorite thing about all of this is meeting other authors
yeah,
because at the end of the day, like we really are just out here trying to feed our own souls by telling story.
yeah.
And it's so easy to like get caught up in the machine and to like focus so much on the publishing part
Mm,
and I feel it so much myself of like this pressure again of like okay I gotta produce, I gotta do
yeah,
all this and that and so you forget to like allow like feel the joy and feel the goods and have those magic moments of like oh okay wait a minute this is why I'm doing this
yeah,
because really it becomes a job and it's not always fun. It's really hard to do, actually.
So hard. It's
It's
so
really,
hard.
really hard. It's hard because you're like writing is basically presenting all of these problems and then
Yeah,
having to fix them. And, and so it's like your brain is on fire most of the
literally.
day. And so you have to find those good good moments. And like this podcast, I think has been one of those things where it's like, oh,
Literally.
okay, going to church.
The pod has kept me sane more times than I could even count. Like so being on sub, it's like it's such a roller coaster. I definitely have days where I'm, depending the day you ask me, I could be like on top of the world and just being like, yeah, like what a bad bitch. Or I could just be like questioning my whole entire position in this industry. Like
Yes,
literally,
yeah.
it really
Yeah.
ran, like I laugh about it, but it's really that extreme. The roller coaster of it is very real. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I also think like I'm actually not like I'm not anti like hustling in a good way either. Like I think the healthiest thing for me was to get busy with this middle grade project right now. The other day a friend told me that like right now the wait on sub time is like 5 to 18 months to hear back from
Yeah.
editors. And I was just like, fuck. But then it also made me feel better because I was like, mine are all still out. I don't have any rejections yet. It's like
Hell
so
yeah,
that's good.
baby. That's
But
good
like
news.
that's good. But like
Yeah.
yeah, like that was like a big reality check. And I don't know how accurate it where she got that fact from. So maybe I shouldn't include it, but I had to tell you that. I was like, fuck.
Yeah. Yeah. That
But
feels
that
accurate. That feels accurate.
it does, eh?
100%.
It
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
So knowing that, even though it was a bit like it just also made me like, bitch, but you got projects, like work on other stuff. But it did take me a second to just like get into the mind frame of like working on something else. But
Yeah. That's the thing. Like I think when I was on sub for Sinner's Isle, I could not. Like
yeah,
I really tried, but my brain was like frozen.
really.
But we had like not we had just, but we had done pitch wars and then I did like a bunch of revisions with my agent. So like I think I
Yeah.
was also fried
Yeah,
on
we were
top of
also
it.
experiencing the first global pandemic in our
Oh
life.
yeah.
So
Yeah. That could have played a part. That could have been it as well. So yeah, I think it okay, now that you mention it, yes, we were.
I'm amazed looking
Yeah.
back that like us who were in that class got anything done. Like,
Right?
it was so chaotic.
I think it was the only thing keeping us like
That's big.
sane. Because it was such a oh my God. It's when you
Yeah.
really think about it. Yes, it was a wild, horrendous, terrifying time. Um,
Terrifying.
but like I couldn't like I kept trying, but I just could not
Yeah.
like punch through the wall. But I know for you, again, like you've been doing this and
Mm.
like you have like you've got the projects and I love that you're working on a middle grade. I love this middle grade from the little, the snippet I've read. So I think that's awesome that you're able to like focus on something else and then maybe have something else to put out on sub in a totally different
Yeah.
market.
I'll be honest with you, I'm not straight away. Like, as in, I'm not able to focus straight away. Like, and I think that this is where doing it full time is a blessing and a curse. But the part of it that makes me look like I'm always productive is because I simply just have more time than the average person. So it's not that I don't have days, weeks, sometimes months. I've gotten better at like I know months isn't healthy for me. Like if I like let it go too long, it can very quickly become like a full depression spiral. Let's
Yeah,
be
yeah, yeah.
real. But there's definitely days or weeks or whatever where I'm just like, oh, and I just feel that like slump in my soul and I can't like wake it up. I can't like find the joy to write. And I think because I have way more time than the average person, and because of the nature of social media and whatever, that's not the primary thing I put out there because I think we all know we go through that. And you and I try to do a good job of showing the real, but ultimately, I want our podcast and my writing space to be a place where we like try cheer each other on and recharge. So we share that stuff, but yeah, I don't think it's productive to like vent about those days only, if that makes sense. But
Mhm.
yeah, that's real as well, like those seasons. And I think I have become better and better at just being like, I'll have my little season and then I'll just be like, do you still want to do it? I'll just ask myself.
Mm.
I'll reach a point and I'll be like, do you still want to do it? And then I remember, yes, and there's still nothing I'd rather do in spite of the cruel mistress that publishing is to us,
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think that's the way to do it is to check yourself, to check in. And
Mm,
it's like, okay, like, is
yeah,
this what you still want? Because bitch, we're on fire over here. But
that's
it's
it.
usually it's the same answer. Yes. Like
Mm,
it's all I want. And then if the answer starts to be like, well, or nah,
yeah,
then okay, then it's time to really like rethink things. But yeah, I think taking the breaks is mandatory. And like even
really.
just feeding your soul with shows,
Mm.
shit, that's always like the best way to do it, I think.
I saw I don't know who posted the other day, probably one of our amazing friends, and they just said publishing like it can kill your soul a bit in some ways, but they're like, but nothing kills your soul more than stopping. And I think
Mm,
for
mhm.
those of us who feel that urge to create and to like build this community and like try share our stories with other people, that's what it comes down to. Like it's it's more life-giving than not. And I think once it becomes a job, any job is going to have these sides that feels heavy. And that's what's helped me in recent years. I'm just like, well, it's going to pass when you have those times. And ultimately I know how I feel when I don't write. And that's why I say I'll never be like the person who's like, don't. I think sometimes just jumping in and hustling, because yes, I'm all pro, I'm all about taking the rest and whatever. But I also think sometimes, yeah, just like write the next thing, whatever, if you feel like you can. It's
Yeah.
just that balance, eh? Depends on the day.
Yes. Yeah, I think that's exactly it. Like listening to your body, listening to yourself, because it's truly like if your body and you are saying, no, girl, then take a
Mm,
break.
literally.
But I always feel like that itch. Like
Same.
if I haven't written or something, I'm like, I gotta get something out. And so yeah, it is a weird mix of like, this is so hard, but if I don't do it, it's harder. Like it's
That's it.
harder if I don't. Yeah.
Literally, you just like, even when I'm mad at writing I had the coolest idea for a new middle grade horror just like out of nowhere. I woke up and I was like, I have to write that. It wasn't even a dream. I was just like laying awake. I was like, wait, that's so cool. And I
I
just
love
like I'm
that.
up at 3 a.m. scribbling this new idea down and I was just like, you know what? I love this messy, chaotic thing. And I think it comes back to Debbie Maycomer, just enjoying just like, and like you said, checking our egos along the way when we're feeling like it can just go either way. And as long as you kind of like, I think self-awareness, right? If you're self-aware as you travel through it, you'll know. I don't
Yeah.
think you ever have
Yeah.
to worry about that. The person who asks that question is never the one who has to worry about it because you asked the question. You
That's
know,
it. Yes.
the people who
Yes.
just like get off on a little ego trip, we can think of so many right now in this time of history. I don't think they ever fucking ask those questions to themselves?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I think you're right.